The Galactic Assembly had always underestimated the Terrans. For centuries, they'd spoken of Earth's people as a nuisance, proud, reckless, too stubborn to fit neatly into the tidy order of the Galactic Compact. Their scientists were unpredictable. Their traders were aggressive. But worst of all, their colonists kept pushing past borders the Assembly never agreed to extend. So when the minor outpost on Aurelia 4 was discovered in violation of the expansion accords, the Assembly didn't hesitate. The core fleets arrived under a banner of peacekeeping. Officially, it was a relocation mission. Unofficially, everyone knew the Terrans wouldn't leave willingly. They never did. Admiral Tuvok watched from orbit as the energy beams raked across Aurelia IV's surface. The Terran colony, barely 30,000 settlers, put up a brief, pointless resistance. Local defense ships were vaporized within minutes. The settlement domes cracked, flaring with escaping oxygen before the atmosphere boiled away under orbital bombardment. Minimal collateral debris, Tuvok noted to his adjutant. Transmit the standard report, illegal colony neutralized, territory secured under compact law. The adjutant hesitated. Admiral, shall I prepare diplomatic channels for Earth's protest? Tuvok allowed himself a humorless smile. Let them whine. By the time they finish debating in their Senate, they'll accept the new borders. They always bark. They never bite. He had no idea how wrong he was. News of Aurelia 4 reached Earth within hours. A single civilian transport, its engines crippled and hull scorched, made the jump to a Terran relay station. Its final burst transmission was raw and unedited, footage of charred domes, drifting bodies in frozen suits, a child's toy drifting in vacuum. It spread like wildfire. There was no debate in the Terran Senate. There was no plea for arbitration or sanctions. There was only one word on every representative's lips: retaliation. Within days, the Terran fleets activated dormant shipyards in orbit around Jupiter, Mars, and Luna. Civilian freighters were converted to mobile arsenals. Old battlecruisers mothballed since the border wars were refitted with next-gen rail cannons. Automated factories that had once made farm equipment now stamped out gunships and drones by the millions. Admiral Janessa Wren, Supreme Commander of the Terran Defense Armada, addressed the hastily gathered Joint Command. "We do not stand for our people to be erased like an inconvenience," she said, her voice steady but burning. "We will not beg the Assembly for permission to exist. We are not prey. We are not subjects. We are human. When you strike one of us, you face all of us." By the end of that week, 700,000 warships, from agile corvettes to city-sized dreadnoughts, burned their engines at full thrust, converging on the border worlds of the Assembly. Never in galactic history had so many vessels moved with a single will. Admiral Tuvok was the first to see them arrive. He stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Harmony's warden, staring at the endless flood of Terran ships that had torn through the defensive picket lines like they were paper. The Terrans didn't broadcast ultimatums. They didn't jam communications. They didn't even bother with intimidation tactics. They simply attacked methodically, unstoppably. Tuvok watched the live feed of his forward fleet, 30 core cruisers swallowed in a rolling wave of plasma torpedoes. In seconds, their icons blinked out. He turned to his adjutant, pale and trembling. This is madness," the adjutant whispered. "They're just humans." "No," Tuvok said hollowly. "They are vengeance." On the surface of the Assembly's core worlds, panic spread faster than any news channel could keep up. Worlds that had never seen war in 1,000 cycles suddenly faced orbital bombardment, sabotage strikes, and precision raids. Terran shock troopers dropped onto key military installations, disabling shields, crippling communications. Civilian targets were untouched. Earth made sure of it. But every fortress, every command hub, every fleet yard that supported the genocide at Aurelia 4 burned. When the Assembly finally begged for talks, Terran ships already hung in low orbit over their capital. Admiral Wren herself appeared on the Assembly Hall's grand view screen. She wore no formal uniform, just simple body armor streaked with the dust of 100 war councils. "You erased 30,000 of our people," she said. "We came with 700,000 ships to show you what that costs." One of the trembling Assembly elders managed to speak. What do you want?" Wren's eyes, cold and bright, cut through the chamber. "Remember this. If you strike at humanity again, you will not get 700,000 ships. You will get everything we have. And you will never see another dawn." When the transmission cut, the silence that followed was not just fear, it was the understanding that in a galaxy of endless species, there was one that could not be broken, bribed, or cowed. One that would always stand no matter the cost. Humanity.